this is Chibi Kitty here. So I decided to do my laundry and go ahead and record a story time because I got lazy about doing laundry. So what the heck, might as well do a YouTube while doing my laundry. So I decided to do a story time about the apartment I'm living in. Quick breakdown of the beginning. I lived in a trailer at the time, and it was about 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from the city where you get most of your jobs and everything from. So it's kind of irritating every time you would want to go somewhere. You would go to have to. It'll take you a little few minutes to get out there, and it gets kind of draining to go from the city to all the way there. But you kind of adapt to it. It's kind of those towns where you have to make sure you have two vehicles to get there, and make sure you always have vehicles out there because it'd be rough. It's not like the city where you can easily get a Uber. Trust me, I have tried. Sometimes Uber won't even go all the way out there because it's crazy. And if it does, it's like $40 to Uber all the way there to the like town or whatever. Um, so yeah, it's not a lot of opportunities to grow. Like you got feed stores, gas stations, Dollar Generals, but nothing really big out there. It's mostly like rural country area. So yeah, I mostly just wanted to get out of there. Um, the trailer I stayed in, my mother was kind of a hoarder. So if you ever seen the TV show, it's somewhat like that. Mostly in the yard and a lot of stuff. My mom was big into selling stuff, and she kind of went overboard in it, and we were left with a whole bunch of stuff that's hard to get rid of. So we went with that. Um, the hard thing is it was trying to get rid of certain things and donate certain things, and we just didn't have the gas to do that, and it's hard. So a friend of mine gave me a suggestion to leave and move into a smaller apartment until you got the finances to move into a bigger home and start my life over and have my own identity and live my life. Since I always was kind of like in the shadow of my mother, or always going and buy things that she wanted to do. Um, she's not a terrible person. It's just with no friends at the time, all the way in my 20s, um, and only my mom's friends. It's not that they're not nice people. It's that that's all you're stuck with. There's no people your age to get along with or in your interests, nothing like that. So as soon as I could, I just went out and tried to go to different places to find friends, and that's where I met a couple of mine. To get started, it's very hard for me to socialize to new people because um, I'm not used to that. And so it was nice to know new people. Um, anyway, when I got to trying to take everything from a big trailer to a small apartment was hard. I had to do that basically from 6 in the evening to like 7 in the morning, packing everything. I did not sleep for like 3 days. I also worked the day before. It was rough. and putting everything in totes, getting it ready, and then packing in the car, and then driving all the way here. And it was a hot freaking day, loading everything and putting it into the apartment. It was rough. So I was deciding, got my keys, they showed me what apartment I'll be staying in, and so it was on the second floor. Luckily, it's not third floor. I feel bad for those people because it'd be terrible. I got all the way, packed everything, and was exhausted. Um, Forgot my comforter, so I was having to sleep with like throw pillows. Um, a lot of it was terrible, but I enjoyed it. I loved it. Having my own space, clean space. uh, the rent is kind of crazy. For I don't know, the cheapest rent, but it's also terrible for what you're getting. The kitchen is extremely too small for a three people to share it. It's not a big fridge. It's like the cheapest fridge you can get. The microwave has no handle on it. the One of the stove is a nice stove top oven, but like you can barely use all three or all five of the stove tops. Like two of them don't work right. So you're paying for all this stuff that's barely working, and it sucks. uh, don't get me started on the washing machine. I don't know if it was this or the other apartment, but I know this one had problems. There was so much wrong with the apartment, and I hated it. Uh, the first thing I noticed was I was so excited moving in, walked through the door, and the merely thing that hits you is smoke. Now I have bronchitis. I can't be around smoke too often or people smoking because it gets hard for me to breathe. Especially like if you went into like those cigar shops, I can't stay in there long. I gotten better over time, but when I was younger, I it was hard for me to breathe. Now I could probably stay in there for a couple of minutes, but once it's hard for me to breathe, I can't stay in there long. It gets hard. I have to walk outside. I have to take some deep breaths. It's terrible. Uh, I did a survey and everything, and for your new roomies, filled it out, and I'm a non-smoker. They know that. I don't even. I even put down I had a pet. So that's the other thing that's terrible about that is that I told him I have a cat. I told him I'm a non-smoker, and the first thing is that my roomies, one of them has an outdoor cat, the other one's allergic to cats. Why would you do that? That's the stupidest thing. If you're allergic to cats, why are you pairing those two up? That's a problem in itself. The other problem is or not because it was a stray. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, that's also a problem. Even if that person did not put down that she had a cat or not, I told y'all I had a cat. So why are you pairing me up with somebody who's allergic? That just doesn't make sense to me. You're putting that person's health in risk. And probably has to pay for pills or whatever to make sure, because a lot of my friends, they're allergic to cats. So they have to take certain like pills to be around animals. So that person probably doesn't have to do it until now or whatever. Uh, she also has a kid and everything. So like you have to be very careful around kids with pets and everything, because like fleas and all of that. So that's a lot of dangers with just pairing people up like that. I have two cats here, um, but that's what's terrible about it. The other issue which I ran into, besides the smoking was terrible. I just can't handle it. And my friend, he's allergic to nicotine. So both of us can barely stay in the apartment. I did not want to have to spend money on a humidifier. Like, why should I have to spend money on that when I'm already trying to pay off for everything else? There's damages to the walls and everything. When I moved in, took pictures of all that. Um, the bathroom was okay. It was small, but like you get what you pay for. The bathtub was a little disgusting, especially around the knob area. I hated that. It was really disgusting. Uh, Besides that, everything else was okay. The closet, I liked the walk-in closet. This one has it as well. I liked it. Has so much room, enough room for one person. Um, Besides that, the other issue that I ran into living there was one day they overcharged us like $200 for utilities when each or whatever. And one day they had one of my roommates. They put it down that she moved out on August, but they still charged her, which was weird. They still charged her, but they said, "Oh, your other roommate had moved out." But utility-wise, I can't remember or not um, whether or not they charged her for the utilities, but she's been paying everything. But why would they have her as moved out? She's clearly still living there, but she's been staying there and still probably staying there. Um, I'm unsure. But that's another thing I thought was weird, because they go through like simple bills instead of doing that themselves. Oh, that's another thing that's stupid about this, is that instead of them taking care of, see, you could pay in cash, I think, utility wise, but mostly paying by card. Oh, you can pay by cash for rent, but for utilities, you can pay by straight from your bank, or you can pay on cards through online. But they make you pay that little credit card, debit card fee of $6.99, which is now $7.99 on top of what you're paying, which is crazy. So instead of them having to pay that fee, they get you to pay for it, which I did not like. Which is just another crap that you have to put up with on top of everything else living here. When I signed up with the lease and everything, when I signed up for the lease and everything, the one of the things they were like, oh, rent wise, you could do credit building. So there's a program with that, and then there is insurance for anything that might happen to your apartment while you're here. Now, when I heard insurance, I was like, oh, okay, insurance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen while I'm living here. So, definitely should get that, because this is my first apartment. I don't know too much. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So, in total, I'm paying like $35 for everything. And so, one of the big issues that had happened was one day I was sleeping from work, very tired, around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, or I think it might have been like 8 or 9. Doesn't really matter. I have a whole PC setup that's here that luckily survived. Set up exactly how I have it now with my this here and then my bed here. Now, it's arranged different in the other apartment. This way, you go in this way, and there's a door to the bathroom, and then the closet this way. This one, you go here, and the bathroom's this way. Well, the bathroom's this way, and then the closet. So it's kind of opposite. Anyway, um, one day I just hear something pop, and sprinkler system. I walk in, and my carpet's drenched. My clothes are drenched. Like everything on my shelf is wet. The sprinkler system is just like went off. And I'm like, there's no fire. There's no fire, there's no steam, there's nothing. Why did this go off? Nothing went off. It's at nighttime, so I can't call maintenance. I can't call the office. So as soon as the morning hit, like, then I could contact them. I looked at everything because I was freaking out because it's your stuff. You're not getting that back. All my personal photographs. My parents has passed away. My siblings have passed away. So all I got left is their photographs and everything else. That has all gone wet. Everything has got wet. All the photos. If I didn't get to it quick enough, they would be completely destroyed. I had to sit there up all night with a blow dryer trying to dry all my photographs and my photo books. And it was breaking my heart. It hurt me so bad. The clothes can get replaced. Yes, I spent a lot of money on my clothes, but the fact that they're getting wet was terrible. I'm like, I got insurance, so of course, they're going to cover it. The piping, there was water damage on the ceiling, and when the water on the carpet gets wet, it got drenched on the wall for some reason, probably from the sprinkler. It also went, there's a pipe that goes to the next sprinkler system in this room, and it was headed directly to my PC setup. Luckily, it got stopped in time. The desk, it was behind my PC setup. I have my motorcycle helmet. I got my leather jacket hanging off my chair. And I had a mini fridge in here because 3 people, you're not gonna have enough room for food and stuff. So I had to have a mini fridge put in my room. So I have that set up with my helmet and everything on top. This is for future. Just to let y'all know. After setting up that whole thing and having that ready, the problem, after I called them, I was like, hey, this didn't happen. They're like, we're going to get the maintenance over there to go look at it. So they're looking at it and everything. Apparently, it was an AC issue because these buildings are really old, they're telling me. The AC above this unit went out and water damaged the pipes and everything. Now, the light bulb got filled with water. I was freaking out on whether or not to even touch the switch because I know some things about electricity, but I didn't want to risk my health switching and get like electric shock or anything. I didn't want to touch the light bulb or nothing, so I didn't touch anything when it came to that. The light bulb was filled with water, and the carpet was filled with water. So now I'm freaking out about mold because they're like, I have a cat in the bathroom. He hangs out in there. He hangs it out in another spot. So they're like, we're gonna set up 2 fans, set these up. They lifted up the carpet. They're gonna set these up, have this going, and dry the ceiling. Now, that's good that they do that, but I don't think that helps out as well as they think it does. So, next up was to talk about the damage that happened to my personal property. This is somewhat my fault, but I wish they informed me. They did not tell me this at all. They didn't let me know about the website or nothing like that. When I signed up, they were talking about insurance for the apartment and everything. They did not tell me. I said, hey, this damage, this, and this property. What are y'all gonna do about it? Um, because this is obviously not my problem. This is not my issue that happened to me. It's not my fault or anything like that. They then tell me that the insurance doesn't cover personal property. And they were like, you can check on the website and everything, and there it is clearly on the website. Does not cover personal property. I wish y'all told me this before so I had some type of coverage for things like this. I completely hated that. It completely sucks. Like, if this water damaged my PC setup, I spent thousands on this shit. I spent a lot of money on this. And if this had to damage this with water, I would just be stuck. I would be just about $3,000 down or 1,000 something down of money that I have spent for this. It completely sucks. Photographs, just the photographs, I'm never going to get those back. If I was gone at a friend's house and I wasn't here and that stuff happened and I just waltzed back in here and saw that and didn't have time to recover my photographs, I would have lost those. I would have been a lot more heartbroken than I am now. Because I'm never going to get those back. I don't have digital copies of those to just reprint those. These are old photographs that you're taking on a cheap camera that you buy from a store. I don't even have the film to reduplicate those. Nothing like that. Just one hard copy. And if I lost those, it would have broke my heart. Then, after hearing that, it hurt me. And I was like, okay. Like my friends saying I can sue them. But I don't think I have a freaking case. I don't think so. Because the fact that they have it listed on the website, whether or not they told me, I don't think I have a case because of that. Because I should look back into my list to see if it's even listed there. I don't think I have a case there. The problem I do have, however, is that a couple weeks later, they had the fans in there for like 4 days. I asked them, are they going to take it off the bill? Because that is running up my electric bill, having 3 big fans running. Which is also scaring the hell out of my cats. My cats don't like loud noises like that. And to have those huge fans going is scaring my cats. And that's stressing them out and it's stressing me out. Then they're like, I was like, what are you going to do about the water damage to the walls? They basically just spray painted over it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. As long as y'all taking care of the problem before the mold might happen, that's fine. So I was like, okay. They were like, I called them while I'm at work, and I guess they took care of it then. I get back from work. I get back from work. At this time, I'm working back and forth from work. don't have transportation. I get back home and there's spray paint residue that's all over my jacket, my mini fridge, my freaking helmet. I can insert photos here. Uh, but yeah, that it went everywhere. If you are a professional painter or just paint anything, you know to put down a freaking tarp. It doesn't matter if you're just painting a wall. It doesn't matter if you're just painting a small, like, decorative thing. You're putting down a tarp. Why? Because you're protecting any extra residue that flies off. It could hit anywhere. This is an apartment. There's stuff everywhere. So the way I had it sitting on my desk with a mini fridge where food is on top, I had pantry food on top, and an expensive helmet and leather jacket that I'm never gonna get back. Like, why am I never getting? Why would you not put a tarp down? It's the obvious thing. So to hear that and see that, it was terrible. So instead of them trying to compensate me for that issue, they're like, "Oh, have you tried scrubbing it?" I tried that before. I tried scrubbing that before. It's a matte helmet. It's not a shiny helmet, so it's not going to just come off really easy. And if I use a razor, that's going to scratch up my helmet. That was absolutely stupid. To sit there and just, I know she's just sitting there because some people probably won't even try. I have tried scrubbing that off. I also had my clear visor on that helmet that day, and so that's money down the drain. The leather jacket I have is a real leather jacket. It's not a false leather jacket. It's not a generic leather jacket. That had spotted, as you can see in the picture, all over the jacket, which was absolutely stupid because I asked her about that too. And what she said was, first was suggesting to scrub it off. Then for the leather jacket, I was like, this leather jacket, it has to be dry cleaned. Dry cleaned only. You can't throw it in the washer, can't do anything else. She proceeds to tell me that just take it to the dry cleaner and basically pay for it myself, and she'll reimburse me. I take it to the dry cleaner, I didn't even show her bring the jacket with me because I was tired from work that day. I was like, let me go ahead and handle this. Go to the dry cleaner, and I talked to her about the situation and showed her the pictures of my leather jacket on the phone. She says that they don't even do the leather jacket at the location. They have to send it out to a expert in leather, a leather cleaner. So not only will I have to pay for the dry cleaner, I also have to pay for the shipping to send it out to the leather cleaner, which sucks. So she was estimating around $115 that I would have to pay out of pocket for them to do. Which is absolutely crazy. Which, this is an apartment. Y'all just couldn't tell me to get an estimate. And then I'm broke, pretty much. Spending every single cent I have to pay for rent, utilities, phone bill, and everything else. And on top of that, because of what y'all maintenance guys did, you expect me to pay out of pocket for something that y'all maintenance guys do. At a hotel, when an incident happens, mistakes do happen. They don't tell you to take care of the situation. They take care of the situation immediately, whether it's not, it's just to take you out of the room itself and move you over to a other room or upgrade you. You don't see that in apartments. Something happens and they expect you to take care of the situation, which I find very stupid for them to do. So they expect me to do that. And so I told them about the situation and they're still telling me to cover it myself basically. And I got the receipt, she told me. And then here's another thing. She talked to the leather cleaner on the phone. It was like you could send it out, but there's a very likely chance that they can't get it out. They cannot get the spots out. So I'm supposed to spend $115 for the chance that it might get out. That leather jacket in particular that I have, you cannot find again. This is some lady I found off of Facebook Marketplace that her sweet husband bought her as like an anniversary thing or whatever, which was a $600 set overall. I I got it for off of Facebook. So, and plus I got a helmet from it. So it was absolutely a beautiful set I had. And it fit me perfect, and I absolutely loved it. And for that to happen, and I trust me, I tried to look all over online to find a similar jacket. Cannot find that jacket whatsoever. So I was stuck. So I am still in hopes that they will reimburse me the money for that incident. Uh, so a couple weeks go by, and I'm just in the closet cleaning up. They dried the carpet. Carpet's dry. Removes the fans, and they took care of the bill. Fine and dandy. Um, but I'm cleaning my closet, and what you know, there's black mold. Here's the entrance of the door on this side at the lower bottom. Black mold is all on this side. And I had totes set up here. There's black mold on this side. So now we have another instance of black mold. What you know, I knew about this ahead of time and told them about this. A lackluster of wondering when they're going to take care of it. They basically use any household spray for mold and wipe it off and spray it. And I need to get out of this apartment. I need them to move me. I need to be transferred because I'm living in a moldy room basically, with water damage still up there, with mold in my closet. It's not how I should have to live. I can't stand it. I don't think my cat should be living in that. It's terrible. So I had to call front desk and tell them about it. Uh, One of the instances that I had to tell them was, hey, the apartment's smoky. I can't stand living in this apartment. I kind of forgot at the time. I was irritated. I was frustrated. And it didn't come to me, which was stupid of me. Because I sat there and I didn't tell them who or whatever. But I was like, hey, the apartment's smoky. Um, I can't be living in a smoky apartment. There's mold in the closets, in like both sides of the walls, and everything. I can't stand living in this. I need y'all to transfer me. I didn't know I was talking to the owner. He begins to tell me that they shouldn't be smoking in the apartment in the first place. Um, yes, he'll transfer me, but he has to work on fixing up the other apartment, and he'll let me know. So they're working on cleaning and getting the other apartment ready. I can't stand living in this. I'm sorry. Uh, but I can't. I'm risking my own health at this point. I'm not going to deal with this again. What you know, I'm living in the second apartment waiting for them to move me. It begins to take months. I'm talking about months of me in this apartment. They said they took care of the mold. I still don't believe that. I began to be very irritated about living in here. I'm calling the owner about it. They're like, they're still working on it. One day I just go in there to check on a package, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, your keys are ready for your new apartment. Which they said they've been trying to call me, which at the time I switched my phone, and I totally forgot about switching my phone over. This was like a month ago when I switched my phone over because the charging port went out on it, and so I had trouble with that, and so I forgot to switch my phone number over so they could contact me. So that's my mistake on that. It was, they said it's been weeks, so I didn't miss out long. But I moved in around November into my new apartment here, same apartment area. So it transferred buildings. A friend of mine helped me move because my other friend couldn't at the time. It's hard to work around schedules and everything. Everybody's on different schedules, so that was a lot of help. Got my keys, and um, I'm about to do a part 2 of this. So this is the end of the part 1 video. So part 2 is going to be me and my roommate doing the next video on the disasters that we are experiencing now, living in the new building that my other friends who also live here are experiencing. So it's a lot of irritation and frustration. So I will see y'all in part 2. Yeah. So for my first apartment experience, I just love it. Alright, so I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.